Today's the 22nd of March 2016. This is Padova in northern Italy. Padua, it's written in English, and this is the trade fair. I've been attending a trade fair for campers here, and at the same time there's another trade fair going on for those interested in foods which are anti-allergic. So two things there which interest me. But above all, I was here for the motorhome fair, and the motorhome fair ended yesterday, so now I'm off to see the town and show you a bit about it. Now, the parking here is actually a municipal parking place. It's not for for campers, but just as I was walking out now, out the corner of my eye, I saw that sign down there, and that gives you well, at least an address. Let's have a look at it, because I didn't see it before. So there you have some information about the camper place, which is organised by this parking company. So there's a place to get rid of your water, you've got electricity, there's a tram through the centre, and there's Wi-Fi, and that's what it is. Anyway, for the moment my van's in here, I'm not taking it anywhere else, and let's go to the centre. Now, in this walk, I'm following no set path, I've got nothing prepared, and it's just a case of what turns up, I'll film. If I know anything about it, I'll talk about it, and if I don't, I won't. Now, one thing we see a lot of in Italy is these colonnades, which protect you from the rain and the sun. For me as a cyclist, it's really wonderful to see so many bikes. And another thing one gets in Italy is this wonderful smell of coffee just about everywhere. And it's a particular type of smell you don't get in other countries, even though you've got coffee shops in other places, France and what have you. And there's no shortage of them in London, but it's just not the same. That gate went up on the 20th of June 1256, so it will be having a round anniversary before long, a few months' time. This place is called the Cafe Pedrocchi, and I met somebody who told me that I ought to go in and just have a look at it. So that's what I'm going to do now. Take a look. On this war memorial, we've got the years 1936 to 1946, so it includes the war in Ethiopia, the Second World War, and possibly the victims from the part of Italy that came Yugoslavia, so that would be Istria. I was here on Saturday and there was a market in the piazza I just walked through, and there was a market here as well. Beneath the clock we see the symbol of Venice, and Padova was part of Venice as an independent state until it ceased to exist in 1797, when it was taken by the Habsburgs, and then it became part of Italy following the 1866 war, the Prussian-Austrian War, in which Italy also took part, which led to the unification of the northern part of Germany. And as far as Italy was concerned, it took large parts of northern Italy from the Austrians. Not the Austrians didn't want to give the Italians, because they thought that they'd beaten them on the battlefields, so they gave it to the French, and then the French handed it over to the Italians the following day. The Venetians conquered Padova in 1407, and this building, in fact the clock as well, dates to not long afterwards. The tower was built between 1425 and 1430, and the clock itself dates to 1437 and it still works. So nearly 600 years after it was built. It's got the signs of the zodiac around it, but there's only 11 of them. Libra is missing, and that's probably because it follows Egyptian astrology, although according to something I read it was because the clockmakers didn't get paid, so they didn't put Libra on. I don't know if that's true or not, I'm just repeating a rumour. This is the Cathedral Square, and apparently the facade isn't finished yet. The cathedral's closed until 4 o'clock. Today's a Monday, so if you need to nip in for a quick prayer, you're out of luck. So I can just tell you that it's absolutely enormous inside. Hard to think of a bigger cathedral than that one. I can't off the top of my head, but I can't show it to you for the reason I just stated. This street is called Dietro Duomo, which means behind the cathedral, and one can say that the cathedral is much more impressive from the rear than it is from the front. From the front you don't really get an impression of how big it is, but from here you certainly do.
Come faccio?
Just realised that if I followed the river round in the other direction, that would take me back to where I started from. However, it's too early to go home, go back to the van, so I'm going to walk around in this direction. So I'm spoilt for choice. I can walk down there and see the 14th, 15th century cloister, or I can go this way. I think this place is brilliant. There's so much to see. It's really nice. I've been here before, but I just can't remember it looking this good. I remember a pizza I had at a place called Il Molino. That was 30 years ago. So I don't know if it's still in business. Had I been a student here, I suppose this is where I'd have come, because the library for the history department is here. Now, I didn't actually study history at university. I studied French and Spanish, but I really wanted to study history. So let's study history, and this is where I'd have come. And with this environment, the cathedral, it gives superb surroundings for those studying history of art maybe as well. And once more from here you can really appreciate how big the cathedral is from this angle. So one's absolutely spoilt for choice on where to go here. It's an outstanding place. Well, a shower was forecast for today, and it looks like it's starting. Fortunately, there are these colonnades. Maybe the rain won't be too bad. part of the former ghetto, Jewish ghetto of Padova. This is a synagogue, as you can see from the Hebrew letters up there, and this was destroyed in May 1943, and I believe it was actually local fascists which did it, but because this is before the German invasion, which happened in September 1943. Saint Anthony is the patron saint of lost things. I know this because I saw it in a film. Robert De Niro, I think it was Robert De Niro, it might have been Al Pacino, but I was talking to my girlfriend about this last night, and she told me that when she was small there used to be an image of Saint Anthony on the wall somewhere, and she had to pray to the saint because her grandmother thought that nothing would get lost or it would get found with Saint Anthony around. I think you'll agree this is absolutely magnificent. Dates to the 14th century.
Se lei ne trova un'altra uguale, gli do il trigo e gliene do.
Quello è solo da superintenditore. Perché le chiese, secondo me...
So, this year, 2016, is the anniversary of Misericordia, which I would translate as being grace, or was put there merciful. The route to St. Anthony, which meets here in Padua and goes down to Assisi. Grazie. Up there you've got the date of the restoration, 1986. I was filming inside, which, as it turns out, isn't permitted. So, but the lady who asked me not to film did it in such a very nice and pleasant way. It was a nice experience. Now, so I can't actually see what it looks like. It's outstanding, absolutely enormous, a bit like a cathedral in the centre. I've got to go back and get my vehicle out of the car park. It can only be there until 6 o'clock. I mean, there's so much to do and see here. I'm really impressed, and I think I could have done this earlier. Wonderful place. There's plenty of shops selling material related to St. Anthony. This is the Church of Philip and James, and it dates to 1276.
Portava avanti soldato.
So that's about the end of the walk. I'm now returning to where I started out from, and I feel haven't even scratched the surface of this city. One place, for example, I didn't manage to go to. There's a piazza here, which is 90,000 square meters, so it's even bigger than a red square. And unfortunately, because I need to get back to my vehicle before the car park gets closed, I didn't have time to visit it. But I certainly intend on coming back here and spending a much longer period of time. So this is me signing out from Padova, Italy.